Hello everyone, welcome to History and Culture. Empress Dowager Cixi is one of the most well-known women in Chinese history. Whether you learn about her through the internet or visit the Forbidden City in person, you will often come across her photographs. However, those who pay close attention may notice that most of the photos of Empress Dowager Cixi are full-body portraits. In these pictures, she always appears dignified and composed. Even though she had reached the age of flowering 60, a term used to describe a woman over 60. There are no signs of aging in her appearance. This naturally makes one curious about how beautiful she must have been when she was young. Here, we can explore some historical records to get a glimpse of her youthful beauty. On February 11, 1852, Cixi, under the Yehe Nara family name, was selected to join the palace as a concubine and was given the title Lan Guiran. She did not have noble blood or a prominent family background. But her extraordinary beauty captivated Emperor Xianfeng. Alongside her, other women such as Zhen Pin, Yun Pin, and Li Guiran also entered the palace. Each had their own unique qualities. Zhen Pin came from the Niuhulu family and was soon promoted to the position of imperial concubine after Emperor Xianfeng's ascension, and quickly made empress. Yun Pin, although of lower rank, was well aware of Emperor Xianfeng's likes and habits. And Li Guiran, both in terms of beauty and figure, was considered outstanding. According to Palace Chronicles and the Yu Dai, compiled during the Xianfeng era, Cixi's beauty is recorded. The book states, Lan Guiran, Yehe Nara, daughter of Dao Yuan Huizheng, was promoted to Yi Pin in the second month of the fourth year of Xianfeng. This shows that Cixi was promoted to Yi Pin, a higher rank, within just 2 years of entering the palace, due to her beauty and intelligence. She once proudly revealed to those around her, after entering the palace, everyone in the imperial harem admired my beauty, and many women were jealous of me, but they were all subdued by me. This statement proves Cixi's unique charm within the palace, even causing jealousy among other concubines. In addition to Cixi herself claiming her youthful beauty, two women who had close contact with her, Deling and the American painter Carl, also offered descriptions of her. Deling's father was Yu Gung, a Qing Dynasty diplomat. She lived in Japan and France for 4 years each, and after returning to China in 1903, she became Empress Dowager Cixi's first personal attendant. In her recollections of Cixi's appearance, Deling wrote, "When the Empress Dowager was young, she truly was a graceful and charming young woman. The people in the palace often praised her in such a manner. Even as she aged and her appearance showed some signs of decline, she still maintained a touch of captivating beauty." American painter Carl entered the Qing palace in August 1904 to paint portraits of Cixi. And she spent 9 months living with the Empress Dowager. In her book The Portrait of Empress Dowager Cixi, Carl recalled, "The Empress Dowager in front of me was kind and approachable. Although she was of advanced age, she looked no older than 40. She was gentle, graceful, and delightful, making anyone who met her instantly feel fond of her." Based on the descriptions by Deling and Carl, it is clear that Empress Dowager Cixi was indeed beautiful and captivating in her youth. Additionally, recently a woman who bears an astonishing resemblance to Cixi has been revealed, Cixi's 5th-generation granddaughter, Yehe Nara Shuhong. Born in 1969, Yehe Nara Shuhong comes from a well-established family and was immersed in traditional culture from a young age, with a particularly high level of expertise in calligraphy. She is now a teacher and a member of the China Great Wall Calligraphy and Painting Association, serving as the deputy director of the Beijing Calligraphy and Painting Artists Association office. Her calligraphy skills are superb, and she has exhibited her works at various exhibitions and won awards. Yehe Nara Shuhong is skilled in both Manchu and Han script and imperial brushwork, and she is an outstanding inheritor of this calligraphy tradition. Additionally, Yehe Nara Shuhong is passionate about charity, often donating her calligraphy works for public auctions. Besides inheriting the cultural refinement of her family, her appearance is strikingly similar to that of Empress Dowager Cixi. Almost as if they were cut from the same mold. According to related historical records, Empress Dowager Cixi's cultural cultivation was not high in her early years. However, after reaching middle age, she gradually developed an interest in fields such as literature, history, painting, and calligraphy, and even began creating her own works. She especially loved writing and composing poetry, often using her so-called imperial handwriting to bestow gifts upon her officials, showcasing her favor and grace. Among her surviving paintings are works like the Picture of Wealth and Honor and the Fish and Aquatic Plants, which are still collected and displayed today. Moreover, in contemporary China, Empress Dowager Cixi's calligraphy and paintings can often be seen at various exhibitions. Some media outlets have praised her paintings as astonishingly beautiful and even referred to her as a master of painting, believing that she had extraordinary artistic talent, particularly in flower painting. However, some Qing dynasty historians point out that many of the paintings labeled as Empress Dowager Cixi's imperial handiwork, especially those bearing the Cixi imperial seal, such as large character scrolls or couplets with words like fu, fortune, shou, longevity, dragon, tiger, and so on, were not necessarily created by Cixi herself. In fact, many of these works were likely produced by her trusted aides, such as Miao Jiahui, who ghost wrote or ghost painted them. Despite this, Empress Dowager Cixi's cultural literacy and artistic talent were still far superior to those of other consorts and concubines in the Qing harem, making her one of the most distinguished figures in this regard. It is also worth mentioning that, according to historical records, despite her busy political duties, Empress Dowager Cixi had a strong passion for reading novels, with Dream of the Red Chamber being her favorite book. In the 10th year of the Guangxi reign, 1884. To celebrate Empress Dowager Cixi's 50th birthday, the Changchun Palace underwent major renovations. On the 4 surrounding columns of the palace's corridors, nearly 20 colorful murals were painted, all based on scenes from Dream of the Red Chamber. These included iconic scenes like Exploring the Void, Bao Chai chasing butterflies, Qingwen ripping the fan, Shangyun drunk in sleep, and Grandmother Jia touring the Grand View Garden, with vivid, lifelike depictions of the characters. It is said that these murals were carefully arranged by the chief eunuch Li Lianying under the Empress Dowager's instructions, and executed by court painters. According to the Qing by Lei Chao, Qing Miscellaneous Notes, a particularly exquisite manuscript of Dream of the Red Chamber was circulated among the public. This manuscript was specially transcribed for Empress Dowager Cixi by more than a dozen officials from the Hanlin Academy, including Lu Runxiang. Each page of the manuscript featured detailed small-font annotations in red. And these annotations were personally written by Cixi herself, signed with the name Shaoqin Ho, which was one of her titles. In Deng Zhi Cheng's Notes on Antiques, 1926, it is also mentioned that Empress Dowager Cixi particularly enjoyed reading novels and could recite some by heart, especially Dream of the Red Chamber. She often compared herself to Shi Tai-jun, the character Jia Mu from Dream of the Red Chamber. According to records in Liuan Yishir Lu, Records of the Peking Opera, Empress Dowager Cixi had a great love for the theater. She would frequently summon theater troupes from both inside and outside the palace to perform in the Tiyuan Hall, presenting the legend of Dream of the Red Chamber, a theatrical adaptation of the novel with 32 scenes. During each performance, Empress Dowager Cixi would sit at the center of the front row, surrounded by eunuchs and palace maids attending to her. Sometimes, Emperor Guangxu, the Empress, and other concubines would also join her. When watching the play, Empress Dowager Cixi would always appear very kind and gentle, showing no trace of the commanding presence she usually exuded. According to the recollections of a late Qing Peking opera family descendant, His great-grandfather had once performed in a Dream of the Red Chamber production for Empress Dowager Cixi. After each performance, Cixi would generously reward the actors, especially the ones playing Jia Mu and Feng Jia, with the largest prizes. From these details, it is clear that Empress Dowager Cixi had a particular fondness for the characters Jia Mu and Feng Jia from Dream of the Red Chamber. This is the History and Culture channel. Liking and subscribing are the greatest help and support to us. Thank you everyone and see you in the next time.